Hey, what's up, Brew Crew? Opie here. Welcome back to my Brew City Garden. So it's Easter Sunday, and it's probably the most beautiful day we've had yet this year. I mean, it's just incredible. I'm actually looking for excuses to come outside and mess around. Not that I really need any excuses. I've got so much work to do. It's incredible. But wow, what a great day to get some things done. Now, I'm in the middle of conditioning my straw bales, but straw bale gardening is not the only thing I do. I do a lot of container gardening. I mean, a lot of container gardening, and I do have some in-ground gardens. So all these things need to be prepared for the growing season as well. Right now, I am cleaning up my, I call them my tomato buckets. I set up a whole system, 18 buckets right here in this back driveway with the tomato cages, and it's an automatic watering system. It's just a really great system. Unfortunately, last year it was so wet. I mean, we had the wettest season I could ever remember, and I ended up with blight. So what I'm doing now is I got to clean these buckets out. I'm just rinsing them out with a higher powered hose, and then I'm going to come through and I'm going to spray them down with bleach and just let that bleach sit on these buckets for, well, until they dry. I'll wait for a good rain, and I'll probably do that 2 or 3 times just to make sure that, well, with any luck, that all of those blight spores are killed off. So that's what I'm working on today, and I just love being out here. But all right, let's get to work. All right, so as I mentioned, I just added some bleach to my sprayer bottle, maybe 1/4 cup to the 2-gallon bottle. And I'm just gonna spray these buckets out, and hopefully it'll kill off those blight spores that may have overwintered. Now, it was a very brutal winter, but as far as I understand, blight doesn't really care. It just kind of sticks around. Now, will the bleach kill the blight? I don't know, but it couldn't hurt. I really don't want to discard these buckets. They are just fantastic. They're the perfect size for growing tomatoes, and I always have just a bumper crop of tomatoes out of these buckets. So I really don't want to get rid of them. Hopefully the bleach will sanitize these buckets enough to where the blight's not an issue this year. So I'm just going to come along and carefully spray the inside and the outside of these buckets off, and hopefully not spray myself. Holy smokes, got stuff falling down over here. Hopefully not spray myself and bleach myself. And I will just let these sit and dry with the bleach on them. Now, most of the bleach will evaporate, and then I'll wait for one of our spring rains to come along and rinse them off. And then I will repeat this process probably 1 or 2 more times at least. And hopefully that'll take care of it. That'll do it. The next time I spray these buckets with bleach, I'll make sure I turn them over and get the bottom side as well. I don't want to leave any crevices untouched. You know, like I said, these buckets, they just work just awesome for growing tomatoes in. And originally I had collected all these buckets. I was going to make a Dutch bucket system, something like what CV has over at CV's Greenhouse and Garden. But it quickly became apparent to me that that wasn't going to work, because I didn't have a sheltered area to keep these in. And basically, as soon as it rained, it would flood out the system. So I just went ahead and compromised and set up a soil system with an automatic irrigation. And to be honest with you, it's been really cool. I mean, it's just worked out fabulous. I get so many tomatoes out of this system that it's my main crop. So all my canning tomatoes, my salsa, I always make a huge batch of salsa every year. That's a huge hit. Everybody just loves it. So I give it out as Christmas gifts, and we've always got a couple of extra cases on hand, and we'll eat it up. So I certainly have no complaints about the performance of these buckets. It's just been incredible. And as long as I keep getting the performance out of them, we're going to keep using them. Even if I got to come back and just scrub all these buckets by hand, I'm certainly willing to do it. And these are just 5-gallon buckets that I collected. For a short while, I worked for a nut processing facility that made honey roasted peanuts and other nuts. And these buckets actually contained honey. And they literally throw these buckets away, dozens, every day. They just go to the landfill. And man, I thought it was such a shame. So for a couple of months, I just brought home as many as I could. So I've got all of these buckets, and I've got several more laying around here. I mean, they're just everywhere. But they come in so handy. I mean, they're just so nice to have around. You know, not only for containers, for container gardening, but, you know, also just to I keep my fertilizer in them. I use them to transport compost and wood chips from the municipal yard. Just all kinds of things with them. You know, you use them to wash your truck, all kinds of things, you know, whatever you could use a bucket for, we certainly do. So I'm glad I got them, and hopefully I can get at least a few more years out of them with any luck. They seem to weather really well. My only complaint is these plastic handles. They break on me, and most of them have broken now, and I can't find the replacements for these. If anybody knows where I could get replacement handles for these buckets, let me know, because I've looked everywhere and nobody carries them. That would be awesome. You know, if I could buy them by the dozen or even by the case, you know, if it's not too much, I would definitely buy them. Looks like I got just enough bleach water to do one more pass on these so I can get the bottom sides. Might as well do it now. Somehow I just know my shoes and the bottom of my pants are going to be stark white before this is over. But that's all right, I need both. My pants are falling off me now. So I definitely need to get new pants, and these shoes are kind of getting weathered as well, so no big deal. Just gives me an excuse to go out and buy some new ones. Don't tell my wife I said that. It's kind of a windy day too. Well, it started off beautiful. It was so calm. And the wind is starting to pick up now. They're saying thunderstorms are coming in tomorrow night, which is fine because I'm in the middle of conditioning the bales anyway. If I don't have to water manually and Mother Nature will water the bales for me, I am all for that. And no gardener will deny that rainwater is so much better than anything that you can get out of the tap. I really don't care to use tap water in the garden. So I'm working on setting up a rain catchment system. I've got a 300-gallon tote that I just need to get hooked up to the gutter over here on the garage. But of course I got to clean out the gutters so that they flow properly. And I picked up it's a little unit that hooks into the gutter, and it actually catches the rain and it will funnel it into my catchment system. So I have to get that installed. I've had this thing for 2 years now, so I think it's time I get on it. I just got to get it done. You know, when I saw Josh over at the City Stead hook up his pickle barrel rain catchment system, I just kind of had to kick myself in the ass because I've had this equipment for 2 or 3 years now, and I just haven't hooked it up yet. Now, I'm busy, yeah. I mean, we've all got excuses. We're all busy, but 3 years? Come on, Opie. You can do better than that, buddy. All right, I think I'm just about out of bleach water here. And that'll be good. Like I said, I'll let these sit. And if we get thunderstorms tomorrow night, like they're talking about, that'll wash, basically clean these buckets off, so to speak. And then once it dries, I'll come back and do this again. And then hopefully by next weekend, these will be ready. I got to go to the municipal yard and pick up some wood chips to put around the Jose the Neighbor garden, because we're kind of making a path over there and it's getting kind of muddy. So I'll get some wood chips and put those in over there, and we won't have to worry about tracking mud all over the place and tearing up Jose's yard. And once I get all the wood chips, I will maybe, depending on, you know, how the weather's coming along, I will maybe spray these one more time after that. And then I'll go to the compost yard and get all my compost for the year. And that's going to be a lot of compost. But so hopefully we'll have everything, all these buckets cleaned up by then. And we'll be good to go. You know, springtime, it's here. We're right in the middle of it. And the summer growing season's coming fast. So, man, I couldn't be happier. And a day like this, oh, it's a dream. I just love this so much. If it could be like this all year, well, maybe not quite like this. I like it a little bit warmer, maybe like 78, 80 degrees or so. I love the long days. That's probably my favorite part about summer. And it's always been that way since I was a kid. You know, you're out for summer vacation from school, and the days are so long. It doesn't get dark till like 9 o'clock, and just the memories of playing in the creek and riding my bikes through the neighborhood and playing with the neighborhood kids, you know. That's what summer reminds me of. And I think that's why I love it so much. And just everything's green and beautiful. So I'm just happy that we made it through this brutal winter. It was terrible. And things are going to get good from now through summer. So I couldn't be happier. All right, guys, so that's the tomato buckets. We're getting them bleached up. Hopefully we can get rid of that blight issue. And we'll get these things ready and set up for our tomato bucket system this summer. And we should be good. All right, guys, I'm out of here. We'll see you.